The cold metal walls of the alien warship hummed with an eerie pulse of energy. The glow from the control panels cast long shifting shadows across the floor, where the warriors stood, their elongated forms rigid with confidence and disdain. Before them stood the woman, small by comparison, her frame slight against their towering figures, yet her eyes burned with a fire that sent an unspoken challenge through the air. The leader stepped forward, his segmented armor shifting with a sound like grinding stone. His mandibles clicked as he spoke in the guttural tongue of his kind, weak, fragile, doomed. These words echoed through the chamber like a cruel song. The warriors behind him let out a chorus of hissing laughter, their voices blending into a mocking symphony, but she remained still, her silence a blade waiting to be drawn. They did not know what she was capable of. They saw only flesh and bone. They saw only the remnants of a species they had crushed underfoot. They did not see the fire that had survived the culling of Earth. They did not see the predator that had been born in the ashes of defeat. She let them laugh, she let them revel in their perceived superiority, she let them turn their backs and dismiss her as an insignificant scrap of resistance. Then she moved. The first fell before he knew he was dying. Her hands found his throat and twisted his body, slamming to the floor with a sickening crunch. The laughter died in their throats as she became a storm of violence, her body weaving between them like a shadow in the dark. Her fingers found joints between armor, her strikes shattered bone and ruptured organs. They tried to fight back, but she was already inside their ranks, already turning their numbers against them. The ship's alarms blared, red light bathed the chamber in a sinister glow, but she did not stop, she did not slow, she did not show mercy. One by one they fell, their arrogance turned to terror, their laughter to screams. The walls painted with the proof of their folly. The ship trembled as it entered emergency lockdown, but she did not fear the closing doors, she did not fear the automated defenses. She had come prepared, she had studied every inch of their technology, she had learned their weaknesses, she had waited for this moment like a predator in the long grass, and now the hunt had begun in earnest. Deep in the heart of the ship, the warlord watched through the security feeds, his mandibles twitching, his claws tightening around the edge of his command throne. This human was different, this human was dangerous. He had heard the legends whispered between the soldiers of a lone survivor, a shadow that haunted their kind, but he had not believed, he had not feared until now. He activated the intercom, his voice a low growl through the speakers. Find her, kill her, bring me her head. The corridors of the warship stretched long and twisting, the lights flickering as the emergency power diverted to security measures. Automated turrets whirred into place, scanning for the intruder. Hunter drones drifted through the air, their sharp appendages clicking as they searched for their prey. But she moved through the shadows like a ghost, her breathing steady, her pulse like a drumbeat in the quiet storm. She had counted their weapons, she had measured their responses, she had prepared for this moment longer than they could ever know. She found them before they found her. Her blade flashed, her fists broke metal and flesh alike. She ripped a rifle from a fallen soldier, turned it against his comrades, a burst of plasma fire searing through the air. She moved like death incarnate, her presence an unstoppable force, and the warlord watched, his confidence slipping away like sand through his claws. He had thought her weak, he had thought her nothing, but now he saw, now he knew. The final confrontation was inevitable. She stepped through the doors of the command chamber, the bodies of his guards strewn behind her. The warlord rose, his massive form casting a shadow across the room. His eyes burned with fury, but beneath that rage lay something else, something new, something he had never felt before, fear. He lunged his claws, aiming to tear her apart, but she was faster. She dodged, she countered, she struck with a force that sent him staggering back, her every movement precise, every attack a promise fulfilled. He roared in defiance, but she only smiled. The battle was long, brutal, the walls shook with the force of their blows, but in the end only one remained standing. The warlord fell to his knees, his strength leaving him as she pressed a blade to his throat, his breath ragged, his vision darkening. He looked up at her and saw no mercy, no hesitation, no weakness. She leaned, in her voice a whisper that cut deeper than any weapon. You should have killed me when you had the chance. Then, with one swift motion, it was over. She stood amidst the wreckage of the warship, her body marked with the signs of battle, but her resolve unbroken. The last of the warriors lay dead at her feet. The ship's systems flickered, warning of imminent collapse. She turned, walked away, leaving behind the ruins of their arrogance, leaving behind the echoes of their laughter, now replaced with silence. The ship groaned, its core unstable, its once mighty hulls now tombs for the fallen. She moved, with purpose, her mind set on survival. The escape pods were locked down, the main hangar doors sealed, but she had not come this far without a plan. She accessed the control panel, overriding the security protocols. The ship fought back, locking her out at every turn, but she was relentless. She forced her way through its digital defenses, and the doors finally hissed open, revealing the black void of space beyond. A sleek alien fighter rested on the deck, its engines dormant, its systems waiting. She climbed aboard, activating the controls, her fingers flying over the unfamiliar interface. She had studied their technology, she had adapted, she had learned, and now she would use their own machines against them. The ship trembled, explosions rippling through its frame as she launched the fighter, streaking out into the abyss. Just as the warship erupted behind her, a dying beast collapsing into fire and ruin. She did not look back. Her mission was not yet over. They would know what had happened here. They would know what she had done. She would make sure of it. They had taken everything from her, but they had left her alive. And that was their greatest mistake. She was no longer just a survivor, no longer just a lost human in a galaxy that had forsaken her. She was the huntress, and the war had only just begun.